I had a question for Vince as a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop. Do you think it would be better for them to try to recreate the original series with live action? Or would you like to see them continue the story in live action?
I'd actually like them to recreate what is out there now as far as, what's canon. Only because I would rather see the anime continue the story than someone else try to.
Well, maybe continue is a little weird. Like, so Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily continue the story.
It kind of just grabbed from all of the content.
But it's the intersection of all the existing Alita stuff.
Yeah.
So would you rather see something like that, or do you want to see them do like a beat for beat, like kind of like Watchmen, where they do like shot for shot from like the panels?
Well, I'm glad that we were able to distinctively make the whether it's going to be a movie or a series. So we found out it's going to be series. But if it was a movie, that's probably what they would end up doing. Is just take it like the good pieces of all of this what's out there and make a movie. So I'm really, really interested to see what they do for a series.
I think that it's probably better. I think most things are better as a series because then you can get into characters and and plots and stories.
It just gives you more time.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's why Daredevil and all and everything else. It gives you more time than just a silly movie would.
The problem here, guys, John, you're still listening, right? There's a lot to unpack here. You can't just kind of like graze through stuff. Throughout the series, there's so much character development that just kind of naturally unfolds, and the way transitions work, like the end of battles or like the ends of the days, the beginnings of the mornings, like the way everything transitions it feels and flows very naturally, like you are actually living on the Bebop with them. Like you spend the morning with them, you spend an afternoon, you feel hungry with them in the evening, and then you see them eat like ramen noodles. Like they need to bring the emotions and the environment of the Bebop and this bounty hunting game to the series.
So the style of this, should it be like ultra realistic, like this could happen in a couple centuries, or should it be like a heightened reality, like Alita, where it's like there's a super stylized, very unrealistic but really like fun thing, or should it be the other way? Should it be like not? Should it be the yellow spandex where it goes like off into like fantasy world, or should it be like X-Men black suits, like
this like Blade Runner versus?
It should kind of feel like a Western, like in the sense of like you start off with the hero, in a desert somewhere, but it's not even in the beginning. Like where you start off is actually in the middle or the third act, So you find him in the desert, but then it zips back to present time, and then it shows you how he ended up in the desert by himself. Like that's a very like Bebop thing to do, But it should feel like the way things play out is kind of like a Western, like the way the plot unfolds. Not much so as of like a futuristic, like look wise, like the place should look futuristic, or if like clothes should look futuristic. I think aesthetically it should feel old, because the time of this. Earth has fallen. Actually, no one lives. The people that live on Earth can't live on the surface anymore because the surface changes every 12 hours because of meteors. So at some point, someone like cracked the moon, and it threw off everything with the Earth. So people had to go to like Mars and all these different places to find life now to live there. But the people that do live on Earth have to live inside in these like secured areas because the terrain is constantly changing by meteors. So it's funny. This is all that shit that needs to be unpacked in this series.
That's kind of what the plot of that movie we saw called Wandering Earth, where everybody had to move underground. It's a Chinese film.
Yeah,
I think they said it was like the highest like budget of Chinese films like ever. It shows it's about the Earth having to be propelled out of orbit.
It's insanely broad, but it's great. I loved it.
It's so far in the future that the sun is starting to consume the Earth, because that's like that's physics. Like that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like we've reached that point in history. So all the nations on Earth agree to build jet turbines on one side to propel it out of orbit. But even though it's total sci-fi, there are like little elements of real life physics in it, because as they approach Jupiter, they start getting pulled into Jupiter's gravity field, and it becomes the whole like things that people just didn't think about. They're like, well, we're going to propel ourselves out of orbit. what about other gravitational forces that we
Yeah.
have no numbers or data on?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. Hey, if you like this clip and want to watch the rest of the podcast, go ahead and click on the top video there. But it'd be awesome also if you could give us a like if you like this stuff. And heck, if you didn't like it, go ahead and give us a down. That's cool. I mean, it's whatever. Whatever.